Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today for this presentation on GreenPay's security policy. My name is Alfredo Romero Castellanos. I'm excited to share with you the strategies we have put in place to protect our data and system. In today's digital world, security is more important than ever. Cyber threats are constantly evolving, and just one vulnerability can lead to serious consequences. That's why it's essential to have a strong and proactive plan to identify and stop threats before they can cause damage. In this presentation, I will walk you through our approach to building a secure environment at green pace, ensuring that we stay one step ahead of potential risk. Let's dive in. I want to share how our security policy is designed to keep our system and data secure using a strategy known as defense in depth. This approach means that we have multiple layers of security in place, so even if one layer is compromised, the other continues to protect us. As cyber threats continue to rise, safeguarding our software and data has never been more crucial. This policy helps us reinforce every part of our system, making it more challenging for attackers to exploit vulnerabilities. It's more than just a set of guidelines. It's a proactive plan to stay ahead of emerging threats and maintaining strong security throughout every stage of development and deployment. I want to discuss the security threats we face and the strategies we can implement to mitigate them. First, let's focus on the likely threats, which include phishing attacks and social engineering tactics. These methods specifically target users, trying to deceive them into revealing sensitive information. Because these attacks exploit human error and general lack of awareness, it's crucial to implement strong authentication protocols and conduct comprehensive user training programs. Next, we have high priority threats, such as data breach and system vulnerabilities. These are critical issues that can lead to substantial data loss, eroding users' trust and potentially compromising compliance with regulations. To ensure this risk, regular patch management and proactive system monitoring are essential. By continuously focusing on vulnerabilities, we maintain the integrity of our systems and reinforce user confidence in our security measures. Moving to lower priority threats, we encounter distributed denial of service, also known as DDoS attacks. While these attacks can temporarily disrupt service, they are manageable when we have robust network defense in place, like firewalls and rate limiting. It is important to know that, despite the inconvenience they cause, DDoS attacks do not typically result in long-term data loss if handled properly. Finally, let's touch on the unlikely threats, particularly zero-day vulnerabilities. Thanks to our proactive monitoring and regular system updates, these type of threats are less likely to impact us. Although zero-day vulnerabilities can be serious when they occur. Our commitment to our commitment to routine code audits and timely updates helps minimize their potential impact. Next, we have the 10 essential security principles that form the backbone of our approach to safeguarding our system and data. First, we have least privilege. This principle emphasizes that users and systems should only have access to the information and resources they need to perform their task. By limiting the access, we reduce the potential damage that can occur if an account is compromised, effectively containing any breach that might happen. Next is fail securely. It's crucial that when software crashes or encounter issues, it does so in a manner that doesn't expose sensitive information or leave our system vulnerable. Ensuring that our system remains secure, even in failure, helps maintain our overall security posture. Then we move to input validation. By rigorously checking and sanitizing users' inputs, we can prevent attacks such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting, also known as XSS. This step is vital to ensuring that only safe and expected data is processed, providing an initial layer of defense against potential threats. Cryptography practice follows closely behind. Using strong, up-to-date encryption methods protects data both at rest and in transit, keeping sensitive information out of hands of hackers. Next, we must focus on authentication and authorization. It's essential to verify that users are who they are claimed to be and to restrict their access to only information they need. This protects our system from unauthorized access and potential misuse. Next one is data protection. It's another key principle. We need to ensure that sensitive information is stored securely and remains confidential. This involves employing encryption and secure storage methods to safeguard our data. Another vital aspect is error handling and logging. Properly managing errors without disclosing sensitive information helps us detect issues without compromising our security. This also allows us to address problems effectively while maintaining confidentiality. We must also prioritize session management. Protecting user sessions is essential to preventing unauthorized access. This includes implementing timeouts and securing sessions data to keep our users safe. Moving on to secure configuration. It's important to ensure that all software and hardware are set up securely, with default settings changed to eliminate potential vulnerabilities before deployment. And finally, we arrive at the principle of defense in depth. This strategy involves creating multiple layers of security so that if one layer is breached, others remain in place to protect the system. Think of it as having a robust safety net that secures us against various threats. Continuing from our discussion on essential security principles, let's explore further critical practices that enhance our overall security strategy. These additional guidelines not only complement the previous principle, but also strengthen our defense against various threats. First and foremost, input validation and sanitation is vital. By always validating user inputs, we can prevent harmful data from being processed, effectively blocking attacks such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting, also known as XSS. This proactive measure is crucial in maintaining the integrity of our system. Next, we focus on authentication management. Implementing strong methods like multi-factor authentication helps ensure that users identify and verify before granting access. This extra layer of security makes it significantly harder for unauthorized users to infiltrate our system, enhancing our overall security posture. Next, we have access control. It's another critical aspect. By restricting access based on user roles, we ensure that individuals can only reach the information necessary to their task. This principle of least privilege minimizes exposure to sensitive data and limits potential damage from any breaches. We also need to emphasize effective error handling and login. It's essential to manage error without revealing sensitive information to users. Proper logging helps us identify and resolve security issues without compromising our system security. Moving forward, security data storage is key to protecting sensitive information. Encrypting data both during storage and transmission keeps it safe from unauthorized access and potential breach. In tandem with security and practice, utilizing robust cryptographic protocols is critical. We must ensure that we are using current and secure encryption methods while avoiding outdated algorithms that are more susceptible to being compromised. This protects our data integrity and confidentiality. Next, let's revisit the importance of session management. Implementing security measures like timeouts and encrypting session data not only protects user session but also prevents unauthorized access, ensuring our system remains secure. Continuing our journey through essential security practice, let's delve into the crucial aspect of encryption and how it plays a pivotal role in safeguarding sensitive information. Building on our previous discussion about security principles and practice, we now focus on three critical policies: encryption in flight, encryption at rest, and encryption in use. Together, these policies ensure the comprehensive protection of data throughout its life cycle. First, we have encryption in flight. This policy is all about securing data that is traveled over networks. By using encryption protocols like TLS, Transport Layer Security, we ensure that sensitive information such as username, password, and personal details remain protected from interception during transmission. This layer of security is vital for maintaining confidentiality and preventing unauthorized access as data move from one point to another. Next, we address encryption at rest. This refers to the protection of information stored on physical devices, including databases and servers. Our policy mandates that all sensitive data stored in this location is encrypted using a strong encryption method, such as AES, Advanced Encryption Standards. This measure ensures that even if someone gains unauthorized access to the storage system, they cannot read or utilize the information without the proper decryption keys. It provides a strong line of defense against data breaches. And finally, we explore encryption in use. This policy focuses on protecting data while it is being processed or accessed by applications. Techniques such as tokenization and homomorphic encryption are employed to secure sensitive data in this state. Tokenization replaces sensitive information with unique tokens that have no value outside a specific context, while homomorphic encryption allows computation on encrypted data without exposing the cultural information. This means that sensitive data remains secure even when active in use, shielding it from potential breaches or unauthorized access. As we further strengthen our security framework, it's essential to focus on the core components of the AAA policies, which are authentication, authorization, and accounting. This element builds on previous discussion about encryption and data protection, creating a comprehensive approach to safeguarding sensitive information and ensuring that only authorized individuals can access critical systems. First, let's look at authentication. These processes involve verifying the identity of users or system before granting access. To enhance our security measures, our policy mandates full factor authentication (MFA). This means users must provide two or more verification methods, such as password combined with a text message code. before they can access sensitive data or system. By requiring additional verification steps, we significantly boost our defense, ensuring that even if a password is compromised, unauthorized access remains unlikely. Next, we address authorization. This component determines what authenticated users are allowed to do between the system. Our policy utilizes role-based access control, RBAC, where permissions are assigned based on each user's specific role between the organization. This approach ensures that users only have access to the resource and data necessary for their job. By limiting access in this way, we minimize the risk of unauthorized actions or potential data breach, creating a safer environment for sensitive information. And finally, we have accounting, which involves tracking users' activities and access between the system. Our policy includes detailed logging of user actions, such as logging attempts, data access, and any change made to systems. This level of monitoring ensures accountability and provides a mechanism for identifying suspicious behavior. Regular audits of these logs are crucial, as they help pinpoint potential security issues and provide overall system integrity. By implementing this AAA policy, we create a robust security framework that not only verifies users' identities but also controls access to resources and tracks activity for accountability. This comprehensive approach is essential for protecting sensitive information and maintaining trust between our organization. Now, let's walk through our unit testing strategy focused on crucial coding vulnerabilities, input validation, and sanitation. As we all know, vulnerabilities in input handling can lead to significant security risks, such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting. So it's essential that we thoroughly test how our system responds to various input scenarios to ensure its strength. To begin, let's look at our first test. What happened with valid input? In this scenario, we're checking how the system handles input that meets all expected criteria. The expected outcome here is straightforward. The system should process this input correctly and produce the anticipated output. This set up this set the standards for how we want our system to behave under normal conditions. Next, we need to address the flip side with our second test. What happens with invalid input? This is where we examine the system reaction to inputs that don't conform to the expected format. Our goal for the system to reject this input and display a clear error message, ensuring that no further processing occurs. This is vital for maintaining system integrity and user trust. Moving on, let's consider what happens when input exceeds length limits. In this test, we assess how the system responds when users' data that surpass our predefined length restriction. Here we expect the system to reject the excessive input and inform the user that they have exceeded the maximum allowed length. This prevents potential buffer overflow vulnerabilities. Next, we tackle a critical aspect of security with what happens with malicious input. These tests involve input designed to exploit vulnerabilities, such as SQL injection strings. The desired outcome is for the system to effectively prevent any attacks, avoiding the execution of unintended commands. Ideally, we also want the system to log these attempts for future security reviews, which add an additional layer of protection. Now, let's examine what happens with empty inputs. We check how the system reacts when users leave input field blank. Our expectation is clear. The system should reject this empty input and prompt user to provide valid data. This not only enhances user experience but also strengthens our security posture. Finally, we explore what happens with special characters. This test investigates how our system processes inputs containing special characters, such as symbols and HTML tags. Our aim here is for the system to either sanitize these characters to mitigate the risk of injection attacks or reject the input if it poses a potential threat. In conclusion, by conducting these throughout tests, we ensure that our input validation and sanitation process are effective in safeguarding our system against potential vulnerabilities. This approach not only reinforces our security, but also enhances our overall user experience. Today, I want to share our approach to enhancing security through automation divided into two key sections. As you can see from left to right, we have pre-production and production. This structure strategy ensures that security is constructed into our software development lifecycle, reinforcing concepts we have previously discussed, such as AAA policies and encryption measures. In the pre-production phase, we focus on building a solid foundation. We start with the verify and test, utilizing automated tools to detect vulnerabilities early on, ensuring our input validation and sanitation process are effective. During the build phase, we, automation helps us compile code securely, while the design phase incorporates security consideration from the beginning, with tools accessing our architectural choice against security frameworks. Finally, in the access and plan phase, we automate risk assessment, identifying potential threats, allowing us to create a clear roadmap for our security measures. Now, transitioning from the production section, we maintain security in live environments. We conduct a transition and health checks to ensuring everything is secure before launch and implement continuous monitor and detect process to identify anomalies in real time. In case of security incidents, our response protocols quickly mitigate damage, followed by ongoing maintain and stabilize effort through regular updates. Through both sections, we emphasize the integration of development, security, and operation. Uh, by embedding security throughout the software lifecycle, we enhance our resilience and protect our data successfully. Next, we have the developer security and operations pipeline and the external tools that enhance our security process throughout the development lifecycle. DevSecOps represent a collaborative approach where development, security, and operations teams work together. This integration ensures that security is built into the entire software development process, rather than being added at the very end. Let's begin with an introduction to the developer's security operations pipeline. The pipeline consists of various stages, including planning, development, testing, deployment, and monitoring. At each of these stages, security measures are integrated to proactively identify and mitigate vulnerabilities. Next, we have an overview of external tools. These tools play a vital role in each phase of the DevSecOps pipeline, providing automated processes that enhance our security measures. They are designed to work together, ensuring that we maintain a consistent and secure environment. Moving to tools in the development phase, we use code quality and static analysis tools that automatically review code for potential vulnerabilities as developers write it. This immediate feedback allows us to address security issues early in the process, significantly reducing risk. In the security phase, we deploy dynamic analysis tools that simulate attacks on our applications. This helps us identify potential security weaknesses that could be exploited. Additional vulnerability scanning tools continuously monitor our software and infrastructure for known vulnerabilities, providing an ongoing assessment of our security posture. As we progress to the operation phase, we utilize monitoring tools that provide real-time insight into application performance and security events. These tools alert us to any suspicious activities or anomalies, enabling rapid response to potential threats. Throughout this process, integrations and collaborations are key. By using these external tools effectively, we foster communication between development, security, and operations team. This not only enhances our overall security posture, but also improve our efficiency and response time. In conclusion, the DevSecOps pipeline is a dynamic and interconnected system that leverages external tools to embed security into phase of the software development lifecycle. By prioritizing security in our development process, we can create a more resilient application and protect our sensitive data more effectively. Next, we have the risks and benefits associated with our current security strategy. Understanding these elements is crucial for making informed decisions about how we move forward. Let's start by identifying problems. We face several issues, including rising cyber threats, inadequate security measures, and the potential for data breaches. These vulnerabilities can significantly impact our reputation and bottom line. To address this challenge, we must consider proposed solutions. Implementing a robust security framework like the Developer Security Operation can help us integrate security into every phase of the development, enhancing our overall resilience against threats. This approach emphasizes collaboration among development, security, and operation teams. Now, let's look at the risk of inaction. If we choose to wait, we expose ourselves to increasing vulnerabilities and potential cyber attacks. Each day without adequate security measures raises the likelihood of a successful breach, which could lead to severe financial and reputational damage. Conversely, there are significant benefits of taking actions. By proactively enhancing our security posture, we can protect sensitive data, build trust with our customers, and ensure compliance with regulatory requirements. This advantage not only safeguards our assets, but also position us competitively in the market. However, it's important to acknowledge the gaps in current strategy. While we have made strides implementing security measures, there may be still areas that require further development, such as employee training and continuous monitoring. To address these issues, we need to outline the recommended steps forward. First, we prioritize risk assessment to identify specific vulnerabilities. Next, investing investing in training for our team will ensure everyone is aware of security best practice. And finally, adopting automated tools for continuous monitoring will help us stay ahead of potential threats. In conclusion, understanding the risks and benefits associated with our security strategy is vital. By taking action now, we can mitigate risk and enhance our overall security posture, leading to a safer and more secure environment for our organization. In our analysis of the current security policy, we have identified several gaps that require our attention. First, there is a noticeable lack of comprehensive employee training programs on security awareness. Without proper training, employees might accidentally expose the organization to threats, such as phishing attacks or data breach. Additionally, while we have established policies for data protection, the enforcement and regular auditing of these policies are insufficient. This consistency can lead to vulnerabilities and weaken our overall security posture. To enhance our security policy, I recommend implementing a robust training program that ensures every employee understands their role in maintaining security. Regular audits of our data protection policy should also be scheduled to ensure compliance and effectiveness. Furthermore, integrating a feedback mechanism where employees can report potential security concerns will foster a culture of security awareness and continuous improvement. By addressing these gaps, we can strengthen our defense and better protect our organization against evolving cyber threats. As we conclude this presentation, it's vital to highlight the standards we should adopt to prevent further security issues. Implementing best practices such as OWASP Top 10 can help us identify and mitigate the most common vulnerabilities in our application. Additionally, adhering to frameworks like NIST cybersecurity framework will guide us in managing and reducing cybersecurity risk. These standards provide a structural approach, ensuring that our security measures are not only effective but also complying with industry benchmark. Now, now is the time for action. I urge everyone to commit to integrating these standards into our security policies and practice. By doing so, we will create a safer environment for our data, systems, and users. Together, let's foster a culture of security where every team member understands the importance of these standards and is equipped to contribute to our collective defense. Thank you for your engagement today, and let's work together to ensure a secure future. Thank you.